I'm Reverend Koji Jeff Ezaki of Haleiwa Jodo Mission. Thank you for listening to my YouTube sermon. Today, I would like to talk about Buddha nature. I spoke about this topic, Buddha nature, many times in the past because this is a very important teaching. If we don't understand it, we cannot become happy. Buddha nature is a seed to become enlightened. It's also called Buddha to be. Everybody has a seed to become a Buddha in his mind. As I always said, Buddhism is a teaching of Buddha and also teaching to become a Buddha. By practicing Buddha's teaching, we will obtain perfect form, enlightenment. If Buddha nature is a seed to become enlightened, it also will be the seed to become happy. That is Buddhism. And we Buddhists must know about Buddha nature and how it leads us to happiness. If it is difficult to understand Buddha nature, just think about spirit. I think the word spirit is a familiar word to you. For example, when a person comes to a gathering and all of a sudden the atmosphere in the room changes brightly, we might say, "Oh, he has a good spirit." On the other hand, if there is a person who gives you a gloomy feeling and makes you tired just being with him, we might say that he has a bad spirit. Spirit is something that we all have in our mind and forms our character. We love good spirits and don't like bad spirits. Buddha nature is very similar to that. It is endowed by birth, and we humans all have in our minds. But the characteristic difference is that there is no good Buddha nature or bad Buddha nature. We don't say that she is kind, so she has a good Buddha nature, or he doesn't help us, that's why his Buddha nature is terrible. Buddha nature is Buddha nature, and it is always fantastic, beautiful, and wonderful. Now, I will share about Buddha nature written in the Sutra. Long ago, there was a poor man who didn't eat for a few days. He visited his friend. His friend was very kind and rich man. The poor man was treated a lot of food and drinks by his rich friend. After the big feast, the poor man fell asleep. His good friend was very happy because the poor man satisfied his hospitality. The rich friend, however, was called for emergency, so he had to leave his house as soon as possible. The poor man was peacefully sleeping, and the rich guy didn't want to wake him. He sold money and jewels in the poor man's shirt's collar before he left the house. These treasures were good enough for the rest of the poor man's life. The poor man woke up the next day and was regretful because he couldn't thank his good friend for the fancy meal. The poor man, not realizing the treasures in his collar, returned to his hometown and again spent a hard life. After a few years, the poor man met his good friend. The poor man said, "Thank you for the other day. To tell the truth, I still spend a hard time without a job and also in hunger." The good friend answered, "What are you talking about? I sold enough treasures in your collar. You didn't realize it. Use that money and live in luxury." This story talks about Buddha nature. The poor man signifies us, humans, and rich man is Shakyamuni Buddha. We all have Buddha nature and were born with it, but do not realizing that fact. We all have wonderful Buddha nature, the seed to become enlightened. Without realizing it, we do bad deeds such as being upset, hating, complaining, and spending a lazy life. These delusions ruin our life. As a result of the bad deeds, our life will be far from enlightened. Our Buddha nature is covered and dimmed by delusions. Then, how do we shine our Buddha nature? How can we get back the beauty of Buddha nature, which is originally shining like a diamond? As I said, Buddha nature is a seed to become a Buddha. Okay, let's think about the seeds of the papaya. If you leave the seeds on the table, what will happen? Nothing will happen. The seeds will become dry and eventually die. In order to get sweet papaya fruits, we must bury it in the ground. But that's not enough. We must think of a place where they will get enough sunshine. We must give it water, but not too much. If the soil is not healthy, the seed might die. So we sometimes add fertilizers to the soil, protect it from bugs and birds. Then finally, sweet papayas will be on the trees. We are taught good seeds make a good crop, but we will not be able to get good crop if we neglect the seed. A lot of elements in nature and a lot of affection from grower help for a good harvest. We know the word cause and effect. In this case, the seed of the papaya is a cause, and sweet papaya fruit is the effect. But only the cause doesn't give us effect. To get a good effect, we need something in between cause and effect. That is karma, relations, connection, blessing, love, compassion, and many elements around the nature. Cause and effect are united with karma. Karma is just like a glue, cause and effect put together. So, if our Buddha nature is the cause to become a Buddha, and happiness is the effect as a result of Buddha nature, what will be the karma which unite the two of them? That will be your compassion. Your compassion grow cause to good effect in your life. Good human and good relationship are grew by your compassion. We, however, have a seed to become a Buddha in our mind. Without realizing it, we may be jealous instead of feel sympathy for others, get mad instead of forgive others, complain instead of send love to others. Growing your compassion is the best way to shine your Buddha nature. Today, I'll give you homework. That is, think of what can you do for others to grow your compassion. Find the answer in your daily lives. Instead of accusing others, think of what you can do for them. Instead of complaining about others, find how you can help them. That gives us awareness. That will grow your Buddha nature. As I said, we all have Buddha nature. We all have a potential to be a Buddha. In order to get enlightened, first of all, we must realize that we have a Buddha nature. If you realize you have a Buddha nature, you just work to shine it. Give your compassion to as many people as you can. That is a righteous life as Buddhist. Thank you very much.